Hello and welcome to The Product Life. This is your host, Apurv Sibal, and I'm really passionate about looking for the best deals on products from home and kitchen to electronics. Best Views Reviews recommends the best products by combining expert product curation, honest customer reviews, and artificial intelligence. We use NLP to determine the sentiment score of all the reviews so you don't have to do the heavy lifting. Our product selection and algorithms are constantly updated to offer the best products to you. Today, we have Debbie with us. She's running Spice and Leaf for a couple of years now, which offers uniquely curated premium quality spice blends. But for listeners who might not be aware, could you give us a brief outline of what you do?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So I am the owner and curator of Spice and Leaf, which is a spice company, and we really pride ourselves on using natural, fresh ingredients, no MSG, no GMOs, all just plant-based. Our products are vegan, actually. And we create blends to make cooking super easy so that when people get home after their busy workday and have to figure out what they're going to make for their next meal, that they can just go into the pantry and find something that's going to inspire them and be able to produce dinner in rather short time.
So, how did you come up with this idea, Debbie?
Great question. So I actually have a background in education. I actually worked in school settings for more than 20 years. And I actually had the privilege of working at the school where my kids went, which made it really nice. But after a while, I was ready for a change. And I moved into another nonprofit sector where I was in charge of programming. And I was responsible for an annual festival that takes place in my community. And I thought it would be really fun to kind of have a bazaar experience where people could go and do shopping. And I thought, I think of the Turkish markets and all the spice markets that are around the world, and thought it would be really neat to be able to have spices as part of the celebration. And so I happened to be traveling, and I was abroad and found a company and asked them if they wanted to come to my community, and they said yes. And next thing I knew, I was a spice curator, learning health permits and FDA approvals, which I knew nothing about coming from the world of education and nonprofit. But over the course of 9-10 months, I navigated it and it discovered I wasn't too bad at that and really enjoyed it and was just so enamored by the world of spices. And about a year and a half later, over a year and a half, really, I gave some heavy contemplation of, did I want to make a career change and try out the spice world? And I knew I could always go back to education and nonprofit. It's not going anywhere, but I felt like I'd always regret if I hadn't tried it. So I took the leap. I went down the slide and made a major career change and opened up a spice company. And it turns out that teaching is still part of my soul. It's my innards, and I built a cooking school, like a kitchen, so that I could do cooking classes. And so I was teaching cooking classes, bringing in chefs, and that's kind of how I got started. It's just a change in life, and it turns out I still love educating. It's my passion. I love helping people, and spices is a really easy way to help people figure out what's going to be for dinner.
Wow, that's quite a story. Moving from education and non-profit to
Yeah,
the
exactly.
spice industry. God. So, when we look up your product on Amazon, it recommends some other brands in the category like Samuri, Axel, Sadaf, The Spice Way, Custis. So, what is the key differentiator?
Well, I pride myself. We are a small company, and everything is done in-house. There's no co-packing. So we know everything that's going into our products, and we're really proud of that. Some of our blends are really unique that you won't find anywhere else. For example, our avocado topper, our avocado toast and egg topper. I happen to have a jar here that I'll just hold up. And for viewers who may be listening, it's a unique blend. I came up with it myself from literally in the mornings making myself eggs and avocado, and I would sprinkle on a little sumac, and I'd sprinkle on a little bit of paprika. Soup, for people who don't know, sumac is a great salt alternative. It's got a nice lemon acidic flavor. And I'm sure you cook with a lot of sumac in your households also. And we use something called Nigella seeds, which are super heart healthy, as well as a little bit of cumin and a smidge of salt. And we really take pride in really thinking about the ingredients that go to create blends to help the user. So in the mornings, you can just throw on your avocado toast topper and you're ready to go. It adds a little zip to the flavor. And honestly, I think that's what distinguishes us is the flavor profiles. We also have a vegan soup powder base. It's all plant-based, no salt, no MSG. When you open up the jar and you see the spices, first of all, the aroma is going to hit you because it's so strong and beautiful, and your mouth starts to water as you smell it. But it is literally, you think of like a deconstructed bouillon cube. So the bouillon cubes come in these perfect little squares. And there's a reason that they make those perfect little squares is because there's some chemicals in there to keep it fortified and caking agents. And we at Spice and Leaf pride ourselves on not using those products, and that when you add that vegan broth base to the water, it's not going to fully disintegrate because plants don't disintegrate. Right? Like the flavor agents will add to the water and create your broth. But there will always be a little bit of sediment, and we're actually really proud of that. So those are some of the things that I think distinguish us. We have a lot of products that are salt-free. We really think about different eating lifestyles, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, kosher, whatever it is, halal. We really tried to be thoughtful of that. So all of our products are vegan, but there are other people that have dietary restrictions. So for example, if you're on a FODMAP diet and you can't have eggs and, if you can't have garlic and onion, we have products that don't have garlic and onion, which is such a key ingredient oftentimes in spices, that we want to make sure that people can have that. Our products have no gluten in them. Our products, as I mentioned, are vegan, so there's no chicken or beef broth base in any of our ingredients, shellfish, those types of things. So those are a couple of the things. I can probably go on and distinguish us, but there you have it.
Got it. So I'm just curious, how did you manage to bring out the product on your own right from an idea?
How do I bring a product into reality, like the idea of it? So oftentimes when I am cooking at home, and there's a lot of test kitching that goes on in my household, my family loves it because they can see I'll have like 5 different versions of the same thing, and they'll be like, which one do you like? So as I'm cooking and I think about flavor profiles, I really think about what would enhance this, whether it's a chicken or a vegetable, and how to create those flavors. So the avocado toast topper is a really good example of me every morning putting all these different spices on, and all of a sudden I walked by a coffee shop, and of course they had their avocado toast in the case. And honestly, it looked naked to me. There were no spices on top. I was like, oh, don't look. There's nothing on the avocado toast. It's not dressed. And so, it's kind of those moments. Sometimes as I'm building a flavor profile, I'll notice something as I'm out in the marketplace and realize that, oh, there's an opportunity here. So, it's cooking at home, which I love to do, and thinking about different flavors and how to come up with a new way to make chicken, because we're always looking for new ways, whether it's chicken or fish or our vegetables or our eggs, and to be able to enhance flavors. So it's things that usually happen organically. It's not like I go in there saying, okay, I'm going to create this. It just happens and evolves.
Makes sense. So how has the journey been so far in terms of product success, sales?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, I have to say. As with any business, you have your highs and your lows. Right now, we're in the holiday season, so it's a great time of year because everybody's home cooking and bringing family together. And I am just honored to be able to be a support system for that as people go on looking for recipes and inspiration of how to make their holiday special. And of course, people have their traditions, and hopefully, Spice and Leaf is becoming a part of that tradition. So, yeah, the journey has been fantastic, and I'm so glad I went down the slide when I was contemplating 8 years ago of whether or not I should make a little bit of a pivot in my career and find ways to educate in a different way.
Got it. So what are your plans for the future?
Mm. So, plans for the future. So, first of all, I should mention, in addition to Spice and Leaf, I teach cooking classes and I teach it over Zoom. I do team building, I do family occasions, whether it's a baby shower and whatnot. And so, we use the spices as a vehicle to help educate people. So, it's really my way of creating me to be able to come in to people's homes to show them how to cook with the spices, because some people get intimidated. Not everybody is comfortable in the kitchen. And I like to be able to create a low barrier experience so that everybody is cooking at the same time with me and we create a complete meal together. And that has really helped so many people, especially, you can imagine during COVID when we were on lockdown and people were in their homes and couldn't go anywhere. We really formed community. And what I realized out of that is people love getting together in those community settings, whether it's in person or virtually. So Spice It Up with Deb is the partner to Spice and Leaf to help educate people how to cook with spices. And honestly, I'm in the hopes of creating a cookbook of educating people how to cook with spices. So that's really what's on the horizon for me, and just, building new spice blends as they come to me to enhance people's cooking.
Well, good luck. We wish you the best of luck with your cookbook. So these were all the questions that I had. Thank you so much, Debbie, for uh, coming on our show. Uh, we would like to ask our users to go on spiceandleaf.com and check out your products, and to check out all the products in 8,000 plus categories, go to bestviewsreviews.com. Thank you once again, Debbie. Thank you for.
Do you want me to offer maybe I can share a promo code for viewers who watch?
Sure, that would be very nice.
Oh, I would love to be able to do that. So for anybody who is listening to this podcast, I'd love for you to come and visit Spice and Leaf. You can use promo code SPICE72 exclamation mark SPICE 72 exclamation mark, and I'd be honored to give you 15% off. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's such an honor.
Thank you once again, Debbie.